Hey, Kevin, you start tonight, and almost immediately they're switching smaller guys onto you. What? How did you feel when you saw those first couple matchups and they kept going to it? What kind of lift did that give you?
I think more than anything, it just gave me a lift to see the ball go through the basket. There was times in the Indiana series where I had great looks and point blank looks that just didn't go through. So it's just to see the ball go through tonight. I think last game I had, point blank hook shot, a point blank layup that didn't go in for me. So, those type of things happen. And you just have to find ways to fight through it, get over the hump, and really affect the game in different ways. But tonight it was, to your point, felt nice to, see those mismatches or even see the big out on the perimeter on me, whether it's Valanciunas or Siakam or, Pirtle, whoever it was, just cut them and get some easy buckets. So that got me going early, and Braun was looking for me, and those guys helped me through it.
Right middle.
Kevin, you surpassed your total points from the first game in the first quarter alone tonight. You and LeBron then combined for the last 13 for the Cavs in the second quarter. What did you personally change in your game tonight that attributed to your success?
I made some shots. As simple as that. I know it's funny to say, but I've had a lot of great looks and really uncharacteristic misses for me. It's not like I forgot how to play the game of basketball. I go out there every night and fight and try to help this team win. And tonight just wanted to affect the game in different ways. And to Joe's point, seeing the mismatches tonight and trying to take advantage of those in the post, or whether I caught it out at the the pinch post or a little bit off, and just went to work.
Front right, Dave.
Kev, you and Ty Lue have been through a lot over the years. What's the dialogue like when there's a back and forth? And, you both have probably evidence that supports your side of playing you at the 5 or playing you at the 4. And how do you take that conversation and then move forward together as a team?
Yeah, between us, there's obviously a mutual respect. He's helped me so much in my stint here with Cleveland in the past 4 years. But, sometimes you're going to butt heads. And, it's my entire life and, my entire pro career, this being my 10th year, I've spent the majority of my time at the 4 position, at the power forward position. But, he sees something out there in me at the 5 spot. And I guess, especially on the offensive end, when I have my game going, he wants me to take advantage of that. So I've always tried to do as best I can in I guess the area of willingness to sacrifice for this team. And sometimes I'm going to have a little bit of pushback, and I think that's in some cases healthy. But I respect Ty, I love Ty, and I think it's good for us, and I'll do whatever it takes for this team.
Back right.
Chico Sean, CBC Sports. Kevin, like you said, you played the power forward position for so many years. How's this transition been, trying to fit into that role as a center again to help your team going forward?
Yeah, well, I was thrown into that early in the season, and kind of had to learn on the fly. And we had a lot of success, and sometimes it didn't look so good. But I think this is something that has worked for us, and something that the coaching staff and a lot of players like to see, because there's freedom in the offense. There's a lot of spacing, and I think we're able to take care of or take advantage of mismatches in a lot of cases. So we're, like I said, a lot of guys are willing to do what it takes on this team. I think everybody 1 through 15, and these were 2 big wins for us because we're able to do that.
Front right, Jason.
When you look at how difficult some of the first games were against Indiana, and now you guys seem to have some momentum building, and you're starting to get it rolling. Could you sense this coming? Did this surprise you as much as maybe it surprised some of us to take a 2-0 lead here on their home court? Or could you sort of feel this building throughout the end of the Indiana series?
I think game 1 was paramount. It was, just in the fashion that we won, especially using that momentum coming off of the Game 7 at home. But then, the next day going on the road, not having a lot of time to prepare, and being professionals, getting our legs under us and going out there and fighting. Even when they took a double-digit lead in the second half, we fought back. We didn't take a lead until overtime, and we used that momentum after game 1 to come in tonight and play well. And I mentioned to you in the locker room that third quarter was huge for us. We kind of flipped the script. That had been our Achilles heel, and that third quarter really throughout the entire season was we didn't play too well. We played pretty poorly, but no, we came out firing, made big shots, and on both ends of the floor, I thought we played really well.
Middle left.
Kevin, I know you guys as players, you have jobs to do when you're on the court, but you're all also fans of the game as well. What's going through your mind when you watch the kind of display LeBron put on in the second half tonight, some of the shots that were falling for him?
Yeah, I mean, there's certain times I would say seeing Bron in shoot-arounds or, seeing him in his preparation where he's going to have a big night. And this morning you could just sense it. And he knew what was at stake. He knew that us getting another one, here at their place was going to be, huge for us. And, he came out and he played that way from the jump tonight. And like I said, you could just sense that he was going to have a special night early on.
Steve.
Kevin, Steve Eshburn, NBA.com. When that is happening, I mean, the crowd reacts to it, TV audience probably reacts to it. You guys are inside the lines. I mean, what are you thinking when you see the kind of shots he's making and just the barrage of it?
Well, tonight I think he had done it in a. I'm not saying he hasn't done it before, but in my eyes, it was just in a different fashion. I mean, so much of the time he's playing downhill, he's getting to the free throw line, and getting and ones. And I know he hit a number of shots in that fashion, but tonight just all the shots over his right shoulder, the step backs, the fadeaways, and the one where he hit the moon ball and over his right shoulder and came back the next possession and hit one over his left shoulder from the free throw line. That was just that was special, and that was something that you get accustomed to, you kind of get used to. But tonight was in that fashion. I don't know if I at least this be my fourth year here, I'd seen that out of him, so it was special. Last question here on the right.
Kevin, Ian Harrison, Associated Press. What did you see from LeBron this morning that gave you that sign he was going to have a big game?
I actually stopped him on the way back, answering Steve's question. When he went over his right shoulder and then went over his left shoulder, he said when he got the mismatch that he was going to do that. So he actually called his shots this morning. So that's just one of the, I guess, examples that I could use, but just how locked in he was as well throughout the entire shoot around. And like I mentioned, just knowing what was at stake for us and getting a 2-0 lead is huge.
All right, thanks, Kevin.